What's up, everybody?
Sure
This is
did.
Scott. Welcome back to another video.
And this is Greg. I'm dusting off my recording equipment to join Mr. Peachy today, trying to get back into some content recording stuff. So
this is a bit of a weird live stream. We
For
kind
sure.
of have been talking about this a lot.
Yep.
We wanted to make a video reacting after Google I/O. So in fairness, we both messed up. We thought that the keynote was 3 hours, so this was going to kick off right after Sundar was done. But that didn't happen because it was 2 hours. I
which
thought that was weird.
totally took me by surprise. I really actually thought that it was going to go much longer. Like we had planned on going live at 4, so we've actually had, fortunately, an hour to to try and figure all this out. So we're for anyone that's watching on my channel, we're actually streaming to each of our individual channels. So hello to my friends over on Scott Peachy's channel,
And hello to all of my homies over there on Greg's channel.
all 24 of them.
Hey, you got
I'll take it.
You
And
have
I love
about
you all. I love you all.
You got about 1,200 eyeballs over on mine.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I guess that would be
And I
2,400
for sure,
eyeball,
I
right?
for sure love all of you people over there. Then
All right, anyway, we're going to have another third clown joining us here in a little bit, but he
At some
actually
point.
had to work today.
or
so-
whatever excuses.
Yeah, whatever. He's probably going to pop in here, make some grandiose intro, but honestly, no one really cares about his channel.
That's harsh. That's so harsh.
We love all his subscribers, all of the... I don't actually think he set up a live channel. Anyway, okay, let's dive into a lot of the content that came up out of I/O today. I was actually really excited about I/O this year,
Yeah.
but it had nothing to do with hardware, even though they did announce some hardware today.
They did. I was surprised at so like expectations going into it. What kind of expectations did you have?
I wanted more stuff with the Assistant because I love. So I have a Google Home unit. I have Google Assistant on my Pixel XL. I love everything about it. My kids love the Google Home Assistant. They are now figuring out how to do different things. Last week's video for me, I talked a lot about the multi-voice support or the multi-user support, and it works. Go watch my other video. The setup is ridiculously easy. That is why I like it so much, because now I can get personalized results. But with today's announcements, it's even more personalized and some wicked cool things that are on their way.
I was looking for some more hardware announcements. I really wanted to see Pixel 2. I really wanted to see anything about Fuchsia.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything about that.
I was
did we?
really hoping to hear some more about that.
I mean, nada.
Like not even a whisper, let alone anything like what is it, Andromeda? Is that the other one? The Android on x86. But yeah, so I mean, I guess that's the difference between us. I'm the hyper dork that's always looking for kind of the computer and IT related stuff, and you're the consumer electronics nerd. So
if you see me looking down on my screen, it's because I have like copious amounts of notes. I actually think the other third clown is joining here shortly. Excuse me.
and my laptop is down there, so when you see me staring down here, that would be why.
Well,
And-
look at that guy. He joined. Now watch your
Joining.
language.
Yes.
No, I wasn't going to wait. I
Hey,
had a 4 o'clock start.
Stream starts at 4 o'clock.
I had a 4 o'clock start. Come over here. We got
Jump
seat for
in.
you.
No pressure.
Where's my beer?
Beer.
In the fridge.
Where it
Anyway,
belongs.
so some interesting facts that we found out from Google I/O today was 1 billion hours a day uploaded to YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Every
No.
single
Was
day.
that uploaded
Being
or
watched.
consumed? Yeah, being watched.
That was
I think it was
actually-
both, though.
That was actually one of the first notes I wrote down, was that yes, people are watching over 1 billion hours of YouTube videos a day. That is just astonishing to me.
It's a lot of hours.
That's a crazy amount of hours.
There are 500 million active users. I think they said 500 million.
Yeah.
I only said 500 active users.
I noticed that. Yeah,
I was
you
like, I
did
don't
say
think that's the right
500.
notes. There's only 500 Google Photos users.
They're taking a lot of photos.
A
was
lot
gonna
of,
say,
lot of hits right there.
3 of them are in this room right
There
now.
are-
So
There are 1.2 billion photos uploaded daily and 2 billion active Android devices per month.
monthly. Yeah, monthly. 2 billion active Android devices. That's insane.
Really quick thing. So if you're a Google Inbox user, you're used to the Smart Reply. I think it's on Allo as well. But specifically, the Smart Reply, when it comes to your emails, is going to be announced effective today for Gmail, which is nice.
Yes, looking forward to that one, I guess.
So, other quick things. Recognize up to 6 people. I didn't know that. I knew that there was multi-user support for Google Home, but I did not know that it was 6 people, which is very interesting. And we will have to program your guys' voices upstairs because I do definitely want to see how that works.
Okay, that'll be
just to see how it recognizes across the three of us.
Yeah.
Going into the very first thing that was wicked cool was Google Lens.
Yes.
Holy cow! Google Lens.
Game changer.
Was awesome.
The note I made on Google Lens was the fact that I've already kind of been using some of the facets of it for the search portion of it. And the note I made was totally baller. That was the only thing I could use to describe it because
just
I was at a gathering last night and I was searching for a specific photo of an aircraft that I had taken like 2 months ago, and I didn't want to scroll through 2 months worth of photos, so I typed in plane, red-tailed, checkered flag, and it pulled it up right there, and it was absolutely perfect. So
that was amazing. In 2 photos?
Yeah. That was in photos.
So that's
just
in there
through
now.
The search function.
Yeah. Right. So that's not even the Google Lens part.
I know.
The fact that it can recognize, like, we'll get into the recognition of the photos because the amount of intelligence that's baked into Google now is awesome and terrifying
I love,
as well.
Sundar's whole little speech about machine learning. I was planning on making a Skynet joke, but I'm assuming that's already happened like 500 times on Twitter already.
Yeah, you know it has.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
No one here has made that joke. It's all yours. The floor is yours.
We welcome our machine learning overlords as they descend upon us. But
can't wait.
The fact that when he put that graph of the error rate for Google Photos being able to identify what is in a picture, that the error rate is lower 5%. Than humans.
That was
astonishing.
Crazy.
Lower than humans. So right now, today, computers are recognizing things in photos better than we
people.
are.
Yeah.
I welcome them. Anyway, Google Lens is going to be vision-based capabilities that help you take action. So it's coming to Photos and Google Assistant first. One of the coolest things that they had was the fact that you can take a picture of someone's router and be like, hey, you want to connect to that? As a matter of fact, I do.
Those were words. That's music to my ears right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's pretty huge.
That made me stare at my computer and my eyes just got bigger. I was like, oh, that's going to be so easy, especially for people who aren't like us, who never change any of that. They never change their wireless name. They never change the password.
Right.
So you have to go to the physical router because they're never going to remember it.
Yep. That was awesome. The other one was kind of it felt like an augmented reality, which is different than the actual AR they talked about.
Right.
But the augmented reality, basically, you pull up Google Lens through the assistant or through Photos and look for restaurants. Here's some actions you can take on that. A picture of a flower to tell you what it is. And then, again, I still really, really like the restaurant part where I can point to something and then it will pull up like not Yelp, obviously. I don't want that. The Google rating, because you really should be using the Google Maps review.
Right.
I mean, Yelp is so 2015.
Listen to you.
The other thing that I like, I don't
Yelp
remember.
Is so basic.
I don't remember the name of the actual presenter, but when he took a picture of the marquee at the theater and said,
"Oh my God, yes!
You just want me to go ahead and buy tickets for this show?"
Like,
okay,
yes, I do.
And add it to my calendar so I don't forget about it.
I feel like
so that will be baked in through the assistant.
I feel like this is the first time that Google's AI offerings have really been like last year for I/O. There were some cool features, but this is the first time I really feel like, oh wow, AI is getting crazy powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy powerful. So, I mean, to me, that's exciting. But things like the take a picture of your router and then join the wireless network. I mean, on one hand, the future sounds awesome. On the other hand, it's like, yeah, but like the security-minded IT nerd in me is like, holy crap, that sounds super dangerous.
Give in to the temptation.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to.
Well,
I know that I'm going to.
You could set up two-factor on it. You could.
No, most routers don't let you do two-factor for authentication. So I'm not sure what the solution there is, but certainly very interesting.
So that kind of gets from Google Lens into the more assistant bit. Some more information about the assistant was we're gonna have the ability to type in the assistant, which finally
is so huge. Yeah,
that's a big deal to me because there are times when I'm at work that I need the assistant to do something, but I can't be like, okay.
That word.
Y'all thought I was going to do it.
I thought you were too.
Do that thing, but I don't want to do that. But if I can quickly type something, like I most definitely want to give in to the temptation of letting the assistant take control of everything.
Yeah.
But I can't always do it with my voice. The other thing was that same person took a picture of it and then had a conversation about it.
Right.
Took a picture of, I think it was a seafood dish, or it was that
the octopus.
The octopus, and was like,
yeah.
I don't know what this is. Take a picture of it, and then ask, what is this, or show me recipes of that.
Right.
And never actually said what the word was, and then recognized it. That's crazy.
I missed that part of the presentation, obviously, because I showed up a little bit late. Did it actually pull up? Like, did it know what specific dish it was? Not just that's an octopus.
He took a picture of the sign that was on like the street vendor cart, which was in Japanese characters. It translated it for him.
Right.
It pulled up octopus dumplings, and then he asked for pictures of octopus dumplings, and then he asked for a recipe.
That's so cool.
And then he decided, I guess, to eat it. I had to take my headphones out for a second.
Yeah, he actually said, I can't read this because it was in a foreign language, and then he saw it in Google Translate. It translated, and then he asked the assistant, show me that.
Yeah.
And it showed him that by recognizing what it saw in Translate.
Context awareness. Like, I feel like if there's a word that describes a majority of the Google stuff that we saw today, it was all context awareness, which is going to be insanely powerful. Difference maker.
So you talked about adding the event, recognizing like, I really want to see that particular band. Give me tickets. Gives me the option of buying the tickets. Gives me the option of putting it on my calendar. Probably even sending it to somebody saying, hey, look at this cool event. We should totally go do this.
Yeah.
I guess the big thing was it's released on iPhone now. Google Assistant.
Well, they're pushing a lot of the stuff that they announced today to iPhone. Which,
and they should.
Yeah.
I mean, I applaud them for reaching across the aisle and trying to engage as many different individual users and pull them into the Google universe. So I'm still a little hesitant, as a former iPhone user and knowing how restrictive their native environment is, especially when it comes to apps and programming and them shutting down developers and things like that when they try to modify Apple specific things. That I applaud Google for trying to do it. I just don't know how it's going to work because none of us play an iPhone.
Well, I have an iPhone, so it should work because it's an app. So as long as you get the permission to use the app, I am assuming there was some type of conversation that was had that says, this is what we want it to do.
Right.
And my guess is that they've developed the assistant in that specific app to say, yeah, okay, so we're going to go ahead and just dominate Siri, and now you can go ahead and put it on your phone, but you basically have to say, yeah, I want my app to do that. Now, I don't know how Apple responds. That's what's really interesting to me.
I agree with that. I would be very surprised if Google Assistant works anywhere close to as well as the Android version of Google Assistant does, because I think one of the major shortcomings of Google product on Apple is the native integration, and Apple really just hampers the hell out of that. Case in point, this is a total sidebar, but I mean, you guys know this. I had the pleasure, not at all, of trying out Android Wear 2. Both my wife and I picked up Android Wear 2 watches. She has an iPhone, I have an Android phone, and it mostly works on an Android phone. It doesn't do much at all on an Apple phone. I don't understand how you can release that as a real product and say yes, for sure, this is ready for prime time. So,
by the way, total shout out to Jacob. You are literally the very first person that's ever done anything for Super Chat.
I think
that is baller.
You need to put that man's name in a plaque and just put it up in your wall.
I don't know what I'm going to take.
Awesome.
I'm literally going to take $1 and just
take
it out of my pocket and frame it. And I'm
going
to put your name
absolutely
on it.
Do that.
You got $1?
I got $1.
Oh yeah! Anybody got a pen? I will do this.
Wait.
No, I want a Sharpie.
Wait. Oh, I don't have a Sharpie.
I totally want a Sharpie. There's a Sharpie up there somewhere.
I got a blue pen for you. That's the best I got.
I am going to put your name.
That man.
You're going to print me a 3D plaque? Here's the $1.
Dunsky.
I will literally put your name on this. You are the very first person to ever use Super Chat, and I will not spend this $1. It will actually go up into my background on all my videos. So thank you, That's pretty Jacob,
awesome.
And thank you for giving me the $1.
Yeah.
I will give you this back. I mean, it's a pseudo $1.
You could put donated by Andrew Smith on the $1 or something.
No, we'll work on that. But yeah, I'm going to actually put this right up here.
Forever and always.
That's baller. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Anyway, going back to the assistant, I'm going to go ahead and just say, I am going to do a comparison of Google Assistant on an iPhone and Google Assistant on my Pixel XL for one of my videos, just to see, because you're right, I don't know what it would be. I just like the fact that I'm going to be able to do things. Maybe I'll work for a company one day that says we can only support iPhone, which is not uncommon.
I do. So
there you go. You have work iPhone. Hey, you could probably see if you can get to the App Store.
It probably hasn't been released yet, but
well,
I would have to get permission from my IT to download it anyway.
See if the app is there.
You have my permission.
That's what I. Oh, yeah, I know.
You have my permission.
We're both in IT technically.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just want to see if it's there. So,
okay.
Anyway, so that was one of the big things that I saw out of that. Passing it to you because I don't want to bogart everything.
No, you're good. So, things that I took away from like the assistant home conversation, proactive calendar alerts. Holy crap, was that awesome.
Man, that was baller.
Dude, that was so sweet. So the idea here is that if you've got a calendar event scheduled, like, oh, we have to go to soccer at whatever time it is, 5:30, whatever, and traffic's going to be bad, Assistant will basically tell you, hey, by the way, traffic is getting bad. If you want to, hit this event, you're probably going to want to leave 15 minutes early or something along those lines. That is what I wanted out of Assistant and calendar and all that stuff from the get-go. So really, really looking forward to that feature. Let's see what else. The hands-free calling on Google Home. I don't even understand, but wow, is that awesome.
Well, so a lot of people were upset that Amazon Alexa was like, well, that's a whole security thing. I don't care. I think that's sweet. Like the idea that if I want to use my phone number, I can. If I don't, then I don't have to.
Well, did you catch the bit where he said you can use your phone, but if you don't use your phone number, it goes out from a private number?
And I like that.
That's brilliant.
All it is what is it, VoIP?
Well, I mean,
essentially.
It is, yeah. It's absolutely that. But
currently, on the App Store, there is not, as far as I can tell, a Google Assistant yet.
Huh. We'll get there.
Whap, whap.
We'll get there. I don't know. Like, I thought that he said that it was going to be really soon.
Fart noise.
Hashtag soon. That's what it always
right.
is. So this goes back to what you talked about. So parlaying from Assistant, it's still really Assistant.
Yeah.
To, again, the proactive. You have the traffic delays, flight statuses.
Yeah.
I like that, except where my Google Home units are, I can't see the colors. So if it needs to get my attention somewhere else.
And that's what I'm wondering how that works, like on the device, like on your phone side. Is it going to vibrate? Is it going to chime? Is it going to do something to be like?
Maybe they'll roll out something to where, as opposed to just rotating the colors, lighting it up, it makes you can set it to make a chime or play a specific sound, like a ringtone or a message notification.
So I think around that, it's just like what are your options for configuration? Like you pointed out, I think a lot of people are going to run into that situation where their home or whatever is just not in a. I mean, it's voice controlled, so you're probably not going to be prominently displaying it. Why would you? So how are they going to? So how are they going to kind of get around that? The other thing that I thought was really, really interesting just from a technical perspective is they said that they were going to enable Bluetooth on all existing Google Homes.
Yes.
That is an interesting implication because obviously Bluetooth is a hardware thing. So that means that you have had Bluetooth the entire time on your home.
I guess I always just assumed that it was there.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but I'm interested in seeing what is the killer app for that. Oh yeah, like why Bluetooth? And I love Bluetooth. I get annoyed when I have devices that don't have Bluetooth connectivity. So I'm really interested to see like what you can do that's cool with that. I'm wondering if you couldn't have, speaking of Android Wear, if you couldn't have some type of like interaction between Google Home, Android Wear Watch, your phone itself, like how that whole environment plays together.
They also announced that Spotify, SoundCloud, and Deezer. I've never used Deezer. I've never actually until today. I never heard of it.
Yeah, I had never heard of it either.
But SoundCloud, I love me some SoundCloud.
How about the visual responses?
Like whoa.
So so that goes back with the
freaking awesome
Google Lens. Like you show a thing. And then you just say, hey, let's go. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to walk or we're going to drive. Okay, cool. It really feels like the big takeaway for me was Google Lens. That to me is what it seems like. Google Lens. And then also...
I don't follow.
Google Lens was kind of flowing through all of this, right? Google Lens and
saying,
Google Assistant.
Yeah.
It feels like those two were really connected together. Like,
Okay.
we're going to take what we already have and the foundation that we've really, really laid, and we're just going to make it cooler. Like, that's what it felt like. We're going to make...
Yeah, that's what I took away from like the first half of it.
Yeah,
because
the visual a little bit better.
They're integrating Lens into Photos. They're integrating Lens into Assistant. They're integrating Lens into the transfer of data between your phone, your tablet, your computer, the Google Home, and your TV, and sending stuff to your tablet and whatever.
I think you hit the nail on the head with integration, because this is comments that we've had for at least the last, if not the previous two Google I/Os that we've sat around and kind of talked about the outcome of integration. Like, we've been saying we want tighter integration between all the Google products, and I mean, not saying that they're listening to the users necessarily, but it seems like maybe they were developing a bunch of stuff. So this is phase 1 is expansion, then phase 2 is like, how do you get it all to work together nicely?
It feels like it's getting there. Like, again, that push from the way that it was all built out.
Yeah.
And then now we're like, okay, we're going to really kind of push it into Assistant. Like, no, really, we're going to make Assistant extremely robust, but they're not making an app that's going to clog your phone.
Yeah.
They're building
They're
all
not
these
making
apps.
another Messenger app.
I know, I was kind of shocked by that. I was really surprised that we didn't have another Messenger app.
Waiting for it.
It's like they've made like, okay, I've gotten Photos and I've gotten, I've got Assistant.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the Assistant's already baked in, which is nothing more than Search. So
Right.
I had Search, and now it became Assistant, and now it's going to do all these other things. So I thought that was cool. But the visual response is to basically say, hey, I need to look at my calendar, put it on the big screen.
Yep.
I have no idea how that's going to work, but that is
so sweet. I would assume that this is going to have like you would have to have a Chromecast or something attached. Like, there's no other way for that information to get to your screen. Like, Google's good, but I don't think they're that good.
I mean, unless I think it was,
it's got to be a Chromecast.
I think it was Barbara McDonald or one of the ones before her. They said if you had an Android TV, that might be the only other, or the Xbox.
So it's effectively the same thing.
Communicate to the Google Home.
Effectively, it's the same thing. What we're talking about is Cast as a protocol. That's the method with which they're using to kind of push this data around, and that's awesome. I'm really excited to see that they're leveraging Cast as a protocol, as an idea, as a concept, and really kind of stretching. I mean, initially when you cast something, I mean, think of the early days of Chromecast. It was like, you get a picture, or you could, Chromecast out one of your videos on your phone or something like that, but it was very limited. It's awesome to see that growing now.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's growing again. That full integration to where I can now seamlessly tell the Google Assistant, go do this thing, or show my calendar, or like if I'm taking a shower, right? Show my calendar when I get out of the shower. I can say that, hop in the shower, and then come back and see that my calendar's not there on the day. That's really, really sweet.
Absolutely.
But when he talked about the visual, like when he first came out, it was like, yeah, we're going to make Google Home and Google Assistant visual. I was like, I mean, how do you plan on doing that?
Yeah.
Because none of them have screens. And then I figured it out that I'm like, oh, now we're just going to basically borrow Chromecast.
I thought they were going to release the Amazon Alexa screen thing.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to release one of those. I was like, don't do that, man.
To me,
that is not the right answer.
You know what Amazon released? A phone. A tablet. That's what they released.
Yeah.
It's a tablet with Alexa.
A big tablet, yeah.
A big tablet with Alexa in it.
A tablet that you're not actually going to hold. It's a stationary tablet that just sits there.
Yeah. So it's a paperweight that talks to you.
Effectively, yeah.
But it looks pretty.
But as much as I crap on Google for going like the wrong direct, like the Messenger thing, how many times have we beat that horse? This is one time, like with the integration with all of your other devices, using them as screens.
I don't know why I'm staring at you.
That's the one time that I feel like Google they got it right. Like that is not the one time.
Okay.
But it's a time where I really feel like they nailed that as an idea. That is such a brilliant execution.
I'm also just gonna say, like, to pause for just a second, like, this is gonna be the longest video, I swear to God, the longest video on my channel by a long shot.
By a long shot, yeah.
Probably.
Because
that's fine.
We're like the first quarter of your notes.
No, we're through Google Photos at this point. We're good. I mean, we're halfway through.
Really?
Okay. I bet we're halfway through.
Okay.
But anyway,
so I
don't know where I was going with that. Oh, it's really difficult for us not to like drop any words that we don't want on our channel. Like,
so difficult.
I just want you to know, like, if we seem like we're stumbling a lot, we are really trying hard to make sure that everyone can watch this and no one gets in trouble.
I use curse words like commas, so this is a challenge.
I do have one comment that might be stretching the boundaries just a little bit, but we haven't actually talked about this particular subject yet. So I'm going to leave that up to the channel. Channel owner to
do you want to talk about
the TPU stuff?
Do you want to talk about the TPU pods?
I will for sure talk about the TPU stuff.
I can't speak to my TPU stuff, so you know what?
So you've got the notes up here, right?
For the TPU stuff,
yeah, I thought you had some TPU notes.
I didn't take a whole lot of TPU
I know, but you
notes
still have some
because
I didn't
go. This is legit what my notes say. Go ahead.
His notes, I kid you not. So Cloud TPU 180 trillion something I don't understand.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It was permutations per second, right? That was that specific quote.
So all right, you got a minute. Go.
I
welcome everybody.
Some of the text related stuff, but I didn't see the actual presentation of it. So all mine is kind of secondhand and kind of understanding as an industry where a lot of this stuff is headed right now. So the TPUs are the TensorFlow processing units, right? So it's this specific piece of hardware that Google's created, and the whole purpose of it is to basically just do AI real good, and that's it, right? So the fact that it's doing 180 trillion, and I'm assuming it's a tensor operation, 180 trillion of those. I don't know what the time frame on that is per second.
It was computations or permutations
per second. That is bananas.
But the thing, are you okay with me saying that phrase?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Basically, when I saw the photo, it was because they showed a computer rendering, but then they transferred it in a picture to a physical rendering to look like a server stack.
Yeah.
And the immediate phrase that went through my head was Greg's wet dream.
Oh, absolutely.
But they showed how it's basically they showed a chip that had 4 cores on it.
Yeah.
And then they expanded that, and then it was a picture of a server stack, and then that server stack was connected to a whole room of server stacks, and I was like, oh god, Greg is going to lose his
absolutely.
stuff.
So I appreciate you keeping it nice and clean.
I've got two statements, and then I'll let this one go. So you're going to see more and more hardware manufacturers doing the exact same thing. AI, specific pieces of hardware that just do AI is going to become a big thing. So NVIDIA, they're a graphics card manufacturer. They just did the exact same thing that Google just released.
Yeah, he called them out for that. He said that.
Absolutely. So as a whole, when you at home are trying to figure out like how is Google getting better and better and better at doing things, this is exactly how they're doing it. They're basically throwing a ton of hardware at it and making the hardware better at doing AI related stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the Matrix type of stuff. Like when you watch the Matrix and you think about all the crazy computer stuff behind the scenes, that's effectively what they're building.
Well, it's actually really
crazy.
Good parlay into the very quick thing on actions with Google. When they did the example of the Panera Bread.
Love the Panera Bread.
That was really, really cool. Like, you know what? I want this thing. That goes into, again, a little bit more of the Google speech recognition with an error rate of less than 5%, which...
Yeah.
What?
Really impressive.
So the fact
really
that
impressive.
It has a really good error rate, actions with Google, you are going to be able to do more things with Assistant, with actions on Google. Those are the things that have been out since November.
Yeah.
More and more developers are starting to use it.
The thing that I loved about that specific presentation, and she mentioned it on screen, was she didn't have to plug in her she didn't have to type in her address. She didn't have to type in her credit card information. And because she had the right things enabled on her phone, such as fingerprint scan to pay for stuff, then it's all seamless. It's the integration that people are looking for, a la The Matrix or some of these other advanced sci-fi stuff, where you think about something, you say one word, and Amazon is shipping you a new microphone because you said, "Hey, Amazon, ship me a microphone," and it's done.
It's
the
Jetsons,
have to log in and do it.
I feel like this presentation especially showed you like that's the future that they promised in the Jetsons starting to come to life now. Minus, flying cars and robots that actually do your housework. Oh dear God, I wish.
I would say
that would be awesome.
Jetsons, yes, for giving us the Genesis, but I've been watching a lot of Star Trek recently, and I think about the replicators.
Oh yeah.
You think or say of something, and as long as there is a pattern, a way to integrate what you said into the computer system, it can produce that thing.
Real stealthy, Peach. Real stealthy.
Well, y'all were nerding out. I didn't have a clue what you guys were talking about. Something words, 80-minute computations. I'm losing people left and right. We're going to pull it back to where I'm
talking about interneting.
I have, I think, 3 other topics I wanted to talk about. Google Photos was one. I didn't really like the Android or the YouTube update, to be honest. It was like, meh. Yeah. I don't really care about 360 on the big screen.
Except Super Chat.
Super Chat.
Because you got Super Chatted $1.
I did get Super Chat $1, which I'm really excited about. The Super Chat, the Super Chat API, which I really, really like. And I also, can we just talk about Barbara McDonald? She was so excited.
Oh, she was
so excited.
She almost couldn't talk.
Does anybody know her YouTube or her Twitter? Does she have a Twitter?
I don't know.
I actually want to thank her for her excitement.
She was the conductor of the hype train.
She was so excited. Yes. And I love that. So I'm gonna actually make a comment.
That's where I had to start kind of coming in and out of the video because I had people. Well, yeah, I did. Not all of us could take the day off.
Well, you have vacation.
I did, but I was with the whole presentation minute by minute up until that point, and that's where I had to start getting away.
She was so excited. She was. I can't tell you how many times I looked at you and you looked at me and like, wow, she's really excited right now. Like, so if somebody can find,
let's be real. What did we do? We looked at each other and just went Super Chat the whole time. The whole time.
And so somebody needs to find her Twitter account because I'm gonna thank her for her excitement.
Yeah,
hype train. Anyway,
I'm telling you, man,
Google Photos. I didn't want to talk about the YouTube update other than Super Chat. Android and do you want to talk about the VR stuff?
I mean,
it's kind of they're making it all in one device. That's the answer,
which is cool. I think that is the right move for VR, and that's pretty much all I can say about that.
And augmented reality was Tango and Maps. They did do a presentation about kids basically using a selfie stick and moving around the classroom. And I want to know, why didn't we have that cool stuff? You know what we had? We had Lincoln Logs. I had a Lincoln Log set.
I have an answer for you why we didn't have that stuff.
Smart people
they
weren't
didn't exist.
Then.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
You know what? Pump the brakes. Big homie.
Just because you're still 34 and the other two of us sitting here are already 35.
You're so much older, or we're so much older
than you. Oh, jeez. Look out.
You're still in diapers.
So, augmented reality is still going to be very cool.
I'm interested to see what they do with Tango.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with Tango.
I have not heard about Tango, and I missed this entire presentation.
So. Here's the short side of Tango. Ready? Depth perception. That's it.
Yep.
So the ability to figure out how far away something is, and then the other, I guess, bit of Tango is what they're calling VPS, which is I don't even remember what the acronym stands for, but the idea is that you use your phone's camera, and your phone can do image processing on the picture that it picks up, and figure out in real space where it's at based on the picture that it's seeing.
It was Lowe's, and it was I need a screwdriver. Take a picture of the screwdriver, and it will do the computations as you're walking through Lowe's to find the screwdriver you took a picture of.
In real space, and say the screwdriver is over there, and take you to it.
So let's talk about how hot that phone would be. I mean, magma level.
Yes.
That thing would be melting in your pocket, a la the Note 7. Made a Note 7 reference, just so you know, outside of Google right now, they are reintroducing the Note 7. But it's actually, and I'm not joking when I say this, it's called the Galaxy Note FE. And I'm not kidding.
Fire Edition?
Fire Edition. That's exactly what everyone says. Someone said Fire Edition, fire extinguisher, anything related to flames. It has already been said.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
I don't think I would do it.
I would not do that. That's a terrible idea.
Now that leaves with 2 topics. We'll leave the Android topic last.
For sure.
Google Photos. 3 big things with Google Photos. One was share with, and it was suggested sharing. The long story short on that is if I took a photo with the 3 of us right now, it would basically say, I recognize that Greg and Andrew are in the photo.
Yep.
Do you want to send them or create an album for them? And that is very cool.
Thank you for enabling my laziness, Google. Because I am the absolute target demographic for that. Where they're like, yeah, remember the guy that took a bunch of pictures and never sent them? Like reaching into my soul and speaking to me directly. That's exactly what that was about.
And it will come through like basically the notification shade where you can hit like one button and say, yeah, go ahead, and it will send out all the photos across devices. So it doesn't matter whether it's photos.google.com on Android or iOS. And I mean, I don't think a Windows phone. Who uses a Windows phone? Anyway,
I don't even think they're making them anymore.
It's probably a Nokia if they are. Most likely. That's the nice thing.
Random sidebar.
I know, right? The second part of Google Photos was automatically shared photos. There was a presentation where the guy took a selfie between him and a picture of his kids, and it automatically sent to his wife's phone where he didn't have to do anything.
And neither did she, once she had set it up properly, to automatically accept it and add it to a library, which for people like y'all who are married and, you know, multiple devices, taking pictures all the time, especially both your wives love to take pictures of your kids. If they could automatically send them to you on your phone or just automatically store them in your Google Photos library, then you don't have to worry about, plug it in, transfer between devices, yada, yada, whatever.
That even with my wife having an iPhone, that is still a conversation that has to be had now. So, that's huge.
The fact that happens, and the nice thing is it's going to use that recognition to say, I see you.
Lens.
What?
Wow.
That was a chair.
Anyway, I see that you took a picture of your kids or this thing, and you have it set up to where you share with the person. It just automatically goes. So anytime you take a picture of that thing, it automatically gets sent to that person. And yes, I totally said that thing on purpose.
That thing.
Think about it. If you set up where certain things happen and it gets sent to certain people. So let me just tell you, be careful. Tread lightly.
Yeah.
If you're picking up what a putting down.
That's so fun. I did not think about that at all.
I'm sure that people were thinking that. I know that I was. It's like, yeah, kids, that's cool, but I'm sure there are times where people are like, how can I do this and be lazy?
That is so
success.
I literally only thought of like, oh yeah, I would totally use that, you know, kids, whatever, like the legitimate use that they showed on stage.
Nope.
I'm such a...
You're a good person.
You're a married man.
Sweet summer boy.
You're a good person. Now we'll get to the point where you're really excited about it. You were so excited about this.
I typed a message to both of them
Photo
in
books.
all caps.
Hang on. I had a prediction as far as why you were so excited. Because he's like, really? Why would he be that excited about it? I have a prediction. I want to hear all of your thoughts about, like, what it is. So explain what it is, and then I want to know specifically why you're excited for it.
Photo books. It's an easy-to-make book. Photos,
a hard copy photo album
from your phone, and it takes minutes to make, and they literally made one on stage, so it literally does take that literally.
Yeah. So
you pick the photos from your phone, it goes through all the photos and says these are your best ones. You do get the option of selecting or not selecting, and then it shows up in the mail.
I wish they would have mentioned how long.
That's it.
He said a couple of days later.
I can't imagine it would be more than just a few days. It's available today online, so photos.google.com, and it'll be available via the app #soon.
Yeah. So,
and the floor is yours.
Yeah.
All right, so what was your question again?
Oh, God, you weren't even paying attention.
I was moderately paying attention.
So photo books we know that you're excited about, but like why are you excited about them?
Well, he has a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah. Well, did you not see the response I already put in the chat?
No, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Explain it to the 1,500 people watching.
I was so excited about hearing about photo books is because this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I mean, I've been taking pictures on cameras and smartphones for years and years and years, and they're all just languishing on my computer and photos.google.com.
Back in my day, I took photos on a BlackBerry.
So did you. Anyway, but I've never actively done anything with them. So I've got tens of thousands of photos out there, but they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. And I've always wanted to start to put together actual physical photo albums of trips I've taken, or especially of my niece as she's growing up and things like that. But I've never done it because all of the other sites that are out there to do something like this, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to get in trouble with any of their HR markets or, you know, whatever. But a lot of their UIs are very, very bad. You know, it takes, like the guy who was making the presentation for Google said, it takes sometimes hours or days to sort through your photos, get them oriented properly, get them in the correct order, see how they fit on the page, review and da-da-da. And the other simple fact is, I would then have to relinquish said photos, digital copies of them, to these third-party services, which I'm okay doing that with Google because I have shifted, thanks to these two, my entire digital online presence to the Google universe.
What can I say?
But doing that to some of these other third-party competitors, along with all of the cybercrime that's going on these days and everybody and their mother getting hacked, I just don't like the idea of taking those personal, especially family photos of my 6-year-old niece and putting them out there on a third party. So the simple fact that Google is now going to do that for me, because Google already has the photos of my niece, I'm okay with. I will probably be ordering a Google photo book tonight.
Not gonna lie, you went deeper into the security stuff than I thought.
On my job.
For sure.
I mean, there was a lot of passion there.
There was a lot of passion there.
Wow. I mean,
but the first half is like spot on. Is exactly what I expected.
I'll be honest, I wasn't listening.
Now who's the jerk for not listening? I looked at it and said, like, you almost did a spit take on your own laptop. Yeah, so totally derailed.
But 45 minutes in, I can't believe we keep going.
I expected that frankly laziness would play a bigger role in your answer, because the fact that you would have to go through and pick out individual pictures is the thing that takes. So my wife does calendars and stuff like that every year for individual calendars for each grandparent. Right. So that's 4 sets of calendars there. And then like other random things that involve pictures and customization and blah, 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 blah. It takes her forever to do that. So the fact that you could, with Google Assistant or the Google Pictures or Google Photos, sweet baby Jesus, select a whole bunch of pictures and say... So the fact that you can grab just a whole bunch of pictures and say, go, like, make me a thing.
Or even the other thing that he demonstrated right at the end is if you already have a bunch of pictures that were taken at a specific event or during a specific vacation, it will create a smart album, which Google Photos already does.
And then just go, that looks good. I'm going to buy it.
Out of the 90 pictures in that smart album, we think these 30 are the best. Yeah. Here's a suggested photo book. Yeah. Click here, and $10, and 3 days later, it's waiting on your doorstep. Holy moly, is that amazing.
That's the level of... I want Google to offload the time-consuming stuff. I'm an automations guy, right? So I want Google to offload all of the tedious crap that I want to mess with, and just let me save that time and apply it to something else. That's perfect.
Well, you can take more pictures. You can spend more time with your family and create more memories while Google is taking all of that background stuff.
Wow, look at you, marketing. Right? You can look at all the memories you're making. I'm right with you.
Androido.
So I'm gonna preface this next segment with I only made it in the presentation to the picture-in-picture, and I was really excited, but then I got called into a meeting and my boss is off, so I missed everything else. I'm really excited to hear what you guys thought about this part of the presentation.
He got called in the office, he got fired.
No. I actually finished the presentation and he was very happy with me, so I got to leave early and come hang out with you two.
And show
there
up late.
was going to be another word there, but I'm keeping it clean.
And show up late. I just want to point that out.
Androido.
Hey, I was here at 4 o'clock.
Androido. Official launch. Summer. That's what they always say. Summer release.
Beta available now.
Yeah, beta is available now. What is it, like, developer?
Which devices?
Android.
Not mine, obviously.
I don't know. It might actually be. I don't know. Well, no. Yours
no.
isn't.
No, not mine.
Sad face.
It's all right. I'm going to upgrade sometime this year.
Anyway.
Can I even get it on mine? Is it Pixel only, or 6P will get it?
No, 6P will get it.
Okay. Lovely.
Sidebar. His is technically end of life.
Yeah.
The official release later this summer, like it probably was like last year. The big ones were, they talked about fluid experiences. Fluid experiences and vitals. Now,
vitals I was interested in.
I did not pay any attention to vitals, so you're going to have to go with that one. I was really interested in the fluid experience, which I don't know if you were. I was more interested in that.
It's the split between us. You're so much more interested in make it look flashy and pretty, and I'm like, yeah, but how, is it gonna run well, and is it secure?
And this is why we did the streams together.
Yeah. Planning.
Fluid experiences. The big ones were picture-in-picture. With basically automatic multi-window. You swipe it away when you don't need it, but you can kind of move it around the screen as you need. Shopping lists, YouTube videos.
I saw that part and loved the actual demonstration because it's something that I have found difficult is you're watching a YouTube video and you want to write down the instructions or the materials you're going to need to build something, and I'm holding my phone in one hand and scrambling and scribbling on a piece of paper, and you just tab out to your notes function and make your notes right there, and it's ready to go.
That's one of the most exciting features to me from a usability perspective. That it's
the other one was notification interactions, which is actually just notification dots.
Didn't pay attention to that at all.
Honestly, Apple does this already.
What, like, explain it? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so notification dots. Oh, you haven't seen this. Okay, so like say that somebody makes a comment on your Instagram, and like so the app will be on your screen, and there'll be a little dot on the actual icon of the app to let you know you have a notification in there waiting for you. So normally it'll appear in the notification shade that you pull down from the top.
Right.
It will still be there, but you can also see it on the app icon. The difference between Apple and Android, you long press on that actual app, it will pull up an action that you can make, and you can read the notification there. That's where Google kind of takes it to the next step.
Yeah.
The long press is nice, but Apple already does this where, you see somebody who has like 1,700 emails.
Yeah, I was going to say, on the email icon, you see how many unread.
Yeah. But with I'm assuming the way it will look is it'll just be a color. It'll be let you know like there's something there that you need to address.
I feel like you're throwing some shade at some other people in this house when you said 1,700 unread emails.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought it was 22,000.
Well, we're not getting to that.
That was her other email.
OCD, like whoa. Anyway, autofill with Google was the next one. It's a lot like if you've used Chrome, which I'm assuming every one of us has at this point. Mm-hmm. It's autofill. If you had
autofill,
credit card, user, anything to do with that, that's going to come to the apps inside. So if you have to do a factory reset and you need to log back in, it is actually going to keep the autofill for you inside the apps.
Cool.
And then the smart text selection. Wait, you needed to make a comment about that?
No, just anytime you have credentials that are stored, it makes my security
just a little
hairy.
If the credentials are stored in your Google account, which is where they would be, does that bother you?
Absolutely, because that's putting usernames and passwords out in the cloud. I also
don't use password 1234.
Well, now everybody knows my password.
Exclamation
jerk!
Point. Exclamation point.
I guess I'm resetting all my passwords tonight.
Great.
Jerk face.
Smart text selection. Text selection.
Super awesome. This was the other feature that I was really excited for.
So the
a lot.
Quick double tap on
a lot.
Was it a lot? I couldn't tell.
A lot.
Double tap on a phone number. It pulls up it actually highlights the whole phone number, and then you get the option of using your phone app to call that. Okay. Or an address highlights the whole address and
takes you to Maps.
Takes you to Maps if you want, or you can just copy it, or you can do anything like that. So it basically takes contextual recognition of the words and selects them all. I know, big words.
I may or may not be being hyperbolic when I say that I might have wasted years of my life trying to get the damn selector in the right place to copy the right piece of text in an email or what have you.
And then when you think you got it and you move your phone,
and then it moves. Yeah. Oh my god. Table flipping rage ensued. Yes. So I am actually really excited for this. Go on.
So that was basically, it makes better selections for you. And then passing on to Vitals, which we'll after this we'll wrap up.
Yeah. So Vitals is, the short answer is it's performance and security. And one of the big things they touted a lot with Vitals is that performance-wise, without doing any updating to the applications at all, even something like opening Google Sheets, a Google Sheets document would open 2 or 3 times faster or something along those lines. So it sounds like Google's really taking to heart some of the performance concerns that previous versions of Android have introduced. And they're trying to make it a lot better. And I think that is fantastic news, not only from a user experience, just being able to open and close applications faster, but that's also, I think, my understanding of it, it's also going to directly impact battery life, because you're making applications more efficient. You're making the operating system more efficient. That is huge. So that's one half of Vitals. The other half was security. Basically security, they're just rethinking security entirely. security conversations for most people are boring. I'll skip the nitty-gritty stuff, but suffice it to say, security in today's day and age with Internet of Things and mobile devices and stuff like that, you're gonna hear a lot more people making improvements to security, or you as a consumer should be looking for companies that are trying to be proactive about security, because it's bad and it's only going to get worse. So I was really excited to hear that.
The follow up to that is, because this is something from an IT standpoint that I'm actually fairly passionate about, is you can no longer rely on the goodness of the people who are creating the systems that you're using. You have to, like Greg said, research the companies that are doing the best they can, but then you have to take your security into your own hands. Yes, Google's encryption systems, both physically on the devices and in the cloud, are good, but there are people out there, there are systems out there that can help you be even better, especially when you're operating in things that are outside the Google ecosystem.
Well, the weakest link in security is always you.
Right.
Period. And
so you have to make your defenses as strong as possible, because there is always somebody out there who is just as good, if not a better programmer than the security people at the companies you are using their products for.
Yep.
Cool. So before we wrap up, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to talk about your favorite thing. You need more? You need 20 seconds? What do you need? Tell me what you need.
I was not prepared for this. Let's see. Favorite thing.
No, hang on. You think about it.
Yep.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Well, not really now, because it's not really fair. You have 10 seconds to talk about whatever is your most favorite thing from I/O. Go.
I think it's the photo book. It's the photo book, but then more generally everything to do with Google Photos and the integration, about how to basically bring it all back and make it easier to use.
Okay. That was more like 15 seconds. Go.
Integration, the Google Lens thing, is probably the most exciting feature. Physically, I'm looking forward to the standalone VR thing, because I am a VR nerd.
That was actually 10 seconds. Good. I am really, really excited about the fact that they're taking Google Assistant to the next level with between Lens, everything with Google Home, calling mom and all that other jazz, and then having the ability to put things on the TV, so on and so forth. Yes. That is very, very cool to me. And I got more time because I make the rules.
You do what you want.
Anyway, that's it. That's all we have. Do you guys want to talk about anything else?
I got nothing. Please, if you like what you saw, please stop by my channel and help me out. Help me get to that 100 subscriber mark so I can get my custom URL. I'm really looking forward to getting back into recording content along with my friend over here, Dr. Peachy.
Yeah, so I will update every description I can with all their information on this video.
Appreciate it, sir.
I will also update some highlights. I'm going to go back through. Obviously, this is live, so there's no editing going to be done. But I'm going to put some key points out there. I'll get there. Anything that you want to hit on?
I'm good.
As always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up.
You
subscribe
said
to those guys. See you guys
next time.